My name is Edwin Castro, and I won the largest lottery jackpot in United States history, $2 billion, on November 8th, 2022. A few months later, a man filed a lawsuit, claimed I stole the ticket from him. Thanks to surveillance footage, I was vindicated. I still get goosebumps saying that. So today, I want to share my story from the quiet signs I couldn't ignore to the steps I took that turned one regular day into a legacy. Not because I'm psychic, not because I'm lucky, but because I noticed these three signs, which I will share in this video. It happened in Altadena, California, my hometown just northeast of LA. On November 8th, 2022, one single Powerball ticket changed everything, and I believe deep down I saw it coming. It started like any other Tuesday. I woke up early, drove down to Joe's Service Center. It's this humble gas station off Woodbury Road. I grabbed my usual bottle of water, a protein bar, and a Powerball ticket. Now, I've been buying tickets for years. Not obsessively, just whenever I felt the nudge. I always let the machine pick my numbers. But that day was different. I remember looking at the terminal and thinking, no quick pick today. Instead, I entered a set of numbers that had been circling my mind for weeks. 10, 33, 41, 47, 56, and Powerball 10. Weird thing is, I'd been seeing 10s everywhere. License plates, receipts, even my microwave timer froze at 10 the night before. It was like the number was following me. Some might call that coincidence. Me, I call it alignment. So here they are, the three signs I saw step by step. The first sign I saw was a crumpled dollar bill. 2 days before the draw, I was walking up my front steps and noticed something near my doormat. It was a crumpled dollar bill, kind of dirty and soft like it had been stepped on. I bent down to grab it, assuming it had blown off the street. But when I turned it over, there was a handwritten message in purple ink, kind of faded. Use me for something lucky. Now I don't know who wrote it. Maybe a kid playing a game, maybe some random act of playfulness. But something about that hit me hard. I stood there holding it, not really knowing what to do. Part of me thought, this is silly, toss it. But I didn't. I folded it and put it in my wallet right next to the lottery ticket I just bought the day before. That was the first sign. The sign number 2 was a dream I had. The night before the draw, I had a dream. Now I don't usually remember dreams. I sleep deep and most nights feel like one long blink. But this one stayed with me. In the dream, I was standing barefoot on a hill, wind hitting my face. I could feel the ground, solid, steady. It wasn't scary, it felt powerful, grounded, clear. I looked up and there it was, a massive billboard floating in the sky somehow, glowing with big bright red numbers, $2 billion. I didn't hear voices, I didn't feel fear, just this deep certainty, like I was already living it. Like I'd stepped into the version of me that had already won. And when I woke up the next morning, I wasn't confused. I wasn't second guessing. I just knew something had shifted. Sign number 3, an inner voice. That morning, the morning of November 9th, I got up same as usual, made coffee, scrolled the news, checked a few emails. Then I felt it, that quiet voice inside, not yelling, not urgent, just a soft suggestion. You're gonna want to check your ticket today. And I listened. I walked over to my nightstand, pulled out that folded slip with the numbers I'd written by hand, 10, 33, 41, 47, 56, and Powerball 10. When I pulled up the winning numbers and started comparing them, one matched, then another, then another. By the time I got to Powerball 10, I had to sit down. All 6 numbers, mine. Everything clicked. The dream, the dollar, the voice. One winning ticket sold in Altadena. I froze. Altadena? My Altadena? I ran to my nightstand, grabbed the ticket I'd folded and slipped under a copy of my old yearbook. One by one, I checked the numbers. I matched them all 6. I won $2 billion. A few days later, I went to the lottery office. I took a deep breath, calmed myself, and did the first thing you should do. I signed the back of the ticket, name, date, signature, locked it in. Then I called a lawyer. This wasn't a time for celebration, not yet. It was time to protect the bag. I chose to accept the lump sum payout, $997 million after taxes. Yeah, nearly $1 billion in one move. I also decided not to show up to the press conference. California requires your name to be public, so it was going to get out anyway. But I issued a written statement. I am shocked and ecstatic. That was all they needed to know. Then came the lawsuit and the media storm. A few months after the world found out, the headlines started spinning. A man named Jose Rivera filed a lawsuit, claimed the ticket was stolen from him by a roommate, said it was his win. That was tough, but truth leaves a trail. Surveillance footage from Joe's service center, clear as day. Me walking in, filling out the slip, paying with cash, smiling. The court dismissed the claims because the law is simple. The person who signs and submits the ticket is the winner, period. That moment taught me something. When you receive big blessings, you attract big distractions, but you just keep walking your truth. So what do you do with $997 million? Well, I started with gratitude, and then I started making moves. Bought a $22.5 million mansion in the Hollywood Hills, infinity pool, game room, panoramic views of downtown. It's the kind of place you don't just live in, you expand in. Bought another $4 million home near Altadena for my family. Bought a vintage Porsche 911. Always wanted one. Cleared debts. Invested in real estate, stocks, and private ventures. But here's what meant the most. My win raised $156 million for California public schools. As a former student in that very system, that hit home. It's legacy, and it's only the beginning. Today, I stay off the radar for the most part. I work quietly, I invest smart, and I stay connected to people who knew me before the money. I've taken time to travel, to give, to build. I meditate, I journal. I look for signs because they haven't stopped. I'm launching an educational nonprofit next year focused on art, tech, and mental wellness in schools. I want to help students dream bigger sooner. And no, I don't play the lottery anymore. Not because I don't believe, but because I already received the message I needed. So if you're listening to this and you're wondering, will it happen to me? Is it possible? I'll tell you this. You can't always predict a win, but you can prepare for one. Pay attention, follow the nudges, honor the signs, and when it's your time, you'll know. I'm Edwin Castro, just a man who listened and walked into a $2 billion miracle.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and wants to see more like it, click the link on screen.